Okay, now we're going to take a look at how we put our tom-tom heads on, okay? What I'm using here today are Evans heads. It's a new head. It's a 2-ply head. Now, this drum set is a good, inexpensive drum set, and I use that for a specific reason. A lot of people just starting out will get an inexpensive kit, and what I find with the heads on inexpensive drums like that really make all the difference in the world to the sound you get. I usually suggest using a double-ply head, meaning that there's 2 thin layers of film creating the drum head. Okay, this is a double-ply head. It has a little bit of an internal muffling system as well, built right into the drum head. First time I'm using it on these drums, so I'm kind of interested to see how it sounds. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take the head and seat it on top of the drum, give it a little twist, make sure that it's settled on there nicely. Okay, we're going to take our rim and place it on top of the head. Okay, again, give it a little swivel, make sure that it's sitting nice. We're going to take our tension rods, again, washer between the tension rod and the rim of the drum. Okay, we will put them in and we will tighten them down, just like we did with the bass drum. Make sure that the tension rods move nice and smoothly into the lug casings. Some manufacturers suggest that you drop a little oil into the actual hole of the lug casing to make sure that it doesn't rust or, you know, get dirt in there and make it difficult for them to turn. Okay, so I'm going to put these last 2 in. Some tom-toms also, the lug casings aren't always set up directly across from each other. This drum has 6 lug casings. Some manufacturers, they only have 5. Doesn't mean it's a bad drum, it's just a little different. So you have to, it's tough to go straight across when there isn't one straight across. So in that case, you may want to go every other lug casing and tighten it down so that it seats evenly, even pressure to the drum head as you apply it. Now I just go around and tap a little bit and make sure like one isn't way tighter than the other. From here, I'm going to give it about a turn and a half, 2 turns, straight across, turn and a half, 2 turns, and I'm feeling as I go also. I want to try to get the same feeling in tightening down each tension rod, okay? Now I'm going to go next to the one I originally started with, give it the same amount of pressure, go straight across again, move over one from where I started, and again, apply a little tension. Okay, now this one, I can see it right there, feels a little looser. That was the first one I started with. So what you do is basically go around each tension rod from here, give it a little tap, and what we're trying to do is get them all to the same pitch. Now these 2 and this one seem lower, so I'm going to try over here. I brought it up quite a bit. Keep in mind that when you tighten any one tension rod, it affects all the other tension rods. So you want to make small, little, subtle turns. You don't want to just crank it up really tight. You don't want the head to be uneven on the drum. You want it to sit nice, evenly around the bearing edge, which is the edge that touches the drum head. You want it to sit nice and evenly along the bearing edge. Pretty close. So that's good for there. Now we'll flip it over. Also, a couple things to keep in mind. You want the badge or the emblem facing up. That's common sense, but you'd be surprised. I've put heads on and gone, oh no, I put the bottom head on the top. Okay, so we'll flip it over. Now, usually Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases, the bottom head might be thinner. Okay, this is a single ply head where the top head is a double ply head. So the thinner head goes on the bottom. Okay, once again, same thing. Put the head over the shell. Just give it a little twist, make sure it's nice and snugly fitted to the shell of the drum. Rim over the top. Again, give it a little swivel, make sure that it's evenly pressured around the drum. And I'm going to put my tension rods in. And we'll finger tighten them all down so that we have an even starting point, starting pressure across the head. Get them all even, finger tightened. Now I usually just tap around on the loose head to find which one's a little lower in pitch, and I usually start there just because I want to bring that one up first. Bring it up to the higher, higher pitch sooner. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a little turn or so. You don't want the bottom head too tight. Usually, you keep the bottom head a little looser than the top head. Personal preference, there's a million ways of tuning. What I'm giving you here is just a bare, bare nuts and bolts of it, of actually, how you go about tuning it. So, give it a tap test around the edge of the drum. Small turns. You hear that? That one was a little bit lower. Let's try this side. Okay, pretty close. There we have that sound, and let's see what this one sounds like. Okay, now my top head's tighter than my bottom head, so I'm going to want to bring that up a little bit. Now it's pretty close to the same pitch, the top's a little bit higher. And sounds pretty good.